Hello, plant friends. Welcome back. I hope you guys are all staying happy and healthy and well out there. This is another part of our Plants of Instagram series. In this series, I reached out to Instagram and Facebook and I asked people like you, fans, followers, whoever else is the message is reaching, to send me clips of certain plants. This episode is going to be about the variegated Monstera Deliciosa Aurea, and this is one of my favorite plants of them all. Right, I think in terms of variegated Monstera, it's definitely, yeah, it's either the my favorite or tied up there with the mint Monstera. I love the spectrum of colors that it can produce. On one end, it can be a very creamy, pale yellow, very much like the Thai constellation variegated Monstera. Then you have yellows, you have light greens, you have lime greens. Yeah, it's a good spectrum of colors. I think that in comparison to other variegated Monstera, it definitely has the widest range of color combinations and color possibilities. So it's every leaf is just a a great surprise. I find that in comparison to other variegated Monstera, the Aria is a much slower grower, at least for me. So that's definitely one of the differences I see. The other difference I see is that, or I've noticed or experienced, is that the Aria tends to have green leaves, like pure green leaves, a lot more often than other variegated Monstera. I've heard and have noticed that there's, several people who kind of just get like one green leaf every other leaf, or one completely green leaf, every two or three leaves. And that seems to be pretty common.
Hi, I'm Angela from Plant Journey on Instagram from Columbus, Ohio, and I'm going to share my Monstera Aurea with you. I also wore this very appropriate shirt. So here she is. She's in my east-facing window, which I normally have her right in front of it, but because I can't really film that angle, I had to just move her to the side. But she gets nice, soft morning light and just bright light for the rest of the day. Really, her care has been very easy. I've never had issues, no root rot, no browning leaves. She consistently gives me about a leaf a month. She's in this cloth pot to help prevent root rot. It helps the soil dry out faster. She's watered about like once a week, maybe more like every 10 days in the wintertime. And what is so fun about her is every other leaf is variegated. So variegated, not. Variegated, not. I actually just chopped her like 3 weeks ago to trade with a local plant collector. And the top was amazing. It still had lots of variegation. And it's already forming an axillary bud right here. So I can't wait to see what that leaf will look like. I find that when I air layer, the leaves get bigger, so I will probably continue to do that. So I'm not going to air layer just for chopping, but just to make the leaves bigger. I feel like that really helps. It does air layer super easy. In fact, before I chopped the top cutting, it was fully rooted and all my friend Andreas had to do was pot her up. So that's all I can think of right now, but here's some more amazing leafy goodness. I just want to add that I got her about a year ago, and my friend was downsizing her collection, and she was local, and I was really happy to get her. I wasn't even looking for this Monstera, and it was just pure luck. It was serendipitous. So now I just hope to have her in my collection forever.
In terms of light and water requirements and humidity, I have not noticed a difference between them and other other plants. I think that in terms of burning and leaf browning, I think their leaves brown and burn just like all the other monstera, the variegated monstera that I have. So I can't comment too much on a difference in that regard.
Hi there from Wisconsin. This is my Monstera Deliciosa Aura. I had this planted in a mix of some chunky bark and charcoal, sphagnum a little bit, and some perlite. I've had this plant since January of this year, 2020. This is the newest leaf right here. A little windy today. It's put on about 5 leaves since I've gotten it, and we have it on a pole.
So I think when people ask me like, is this an aria or not? I think the best way for me, or the way I sort of look at it, is that I really need to see a lot of the leaves. It's really hard to just like look at one leaf and say, oh yeah, this is an aria. It's much easier if that leaf has a lot of color variation, right? So if you see your yellows, you see your creams and your limes or whatever on a leaf, then yeah, I think it's pretty easy to say like that's an aria. But if you're looking just at like one leaf, especially if the variegation is not pronounced, it's a little bit more difficult. So when you're shopping around for arias, just look at all the leaves. I think nowadays arias they're common enough that you can sort of recognize them. I think that if you're a little in doubt that like, is this a Thai constellation? Is this something? Is this like another type? The easiest way is just to look at all the leaves. If you see that there's a good range of colors and variegation patterns that's very similar to the arias that I'm showing here, I think that's a pretty good bet. I don't know if there's anything else for me to say. I don't think so. Oh, if you guys are enjoying these clips, definitely give everyone who contributed a follow on Instagram. If you guys want to contribute your own clips of certain plants, definitely let me know. Reach out. I'm always, trying to share more of other people's plants. If you want to share a clip, that's great. If you want to be on camera or talk behind camera, that's totally welcome and totally appreciated. So definitely reach out. I appreciate everyone who really stepped out of their comfort zone to talk or show themselves. I know it's a bit it's a bit nerve-wracking to a lot of people, and I find that most plant people tend to be pretty shy. So okay, guys, I think that wraps it up for this episode. Super short, I know. And again, thank you everyone who contributed, and till next time, happy planting.